Honored guests, Mr. Vice President, Dr. Biden, Mayor Daley, Maggie Daley, members of the City Council and other elected officials, residents, and friends of Chicago. Today, more than any other time in our history, more than any other place in our country, the City of Chicago is ready for change. For all the parents who deserve a school system that expects every student to earn a diploma. For all the neighbors who deserve to walk home on safer streets. For all the taxpayers who deserve a city government that is more effective and costs less. And for all the people in the hardest working city in America who deserve a strong economy so they can find jobs or create jobs. This is your day. As your new mayor, it is an honor to fight for the change we need and a privilege to lead the city we love. We have much to do, but we should first acknowledge how far we have come. A generation ago, people were writing Chicago off as a dying city. They said our downtown was failing. Our neighborhoods were unlivable. Our schools were the worst in the nation. And our politics have become so divisive. We are referred to as Beirut on the Lake. When Richard Daley took office as mayor 22 years ago, he challenged all of us to lower our voices and to raise our sights. Chicago is a different city today than the one Mayor Daley inherited, thanks to all he did. This is a magnificent place where we gather today. It's a living symbol of that transformation. Back then, this was an abandoned rail yard. A generation later, what was once a nagging urban eyesore is now a world-class urban park. Through Mayor Daley's vision, his determination, his leadership, this place, like our city, was reborn. We are a much greater city because of the lifetime of service that Mayor Daley and First Lady Maggie Daley have given us. Nobody ever loved Chicago more or served it better than Richard Daley. Now, Mr. Mayor, and forevermore, Chicago loves you back. And I could not have taken on this challenge without Amy, my first love, and our new First Lady. And our children, Zach, Lana, and Leah. And I want to thank my parents who gave me the opportunity to get a good education and whose values have guided me through life. I also want to thank President Obama, who turned our nation around and who loved Chicago so much he understood why I wanted to come home. And our city is beautiful. New times demand new answers. Old problems cry out for better results. This morning we leave behind the old ways and old divisions and begin a new day for Chicago. I am proud to lead a city united in common purpose and driven by a common thirst for change. To do that, we must face the truth. It is time to take on the challenges that threaten the very future of our city. The quality of our schools, the safety of our streets, the cost and effectiveness of city government, and the urgent need to create jobs the jobs of the future right here in the city of Chicago. The decisions we make in the next 2 or 3 years will determine what Chicago will look like in the next 20 or 30. In shaping that future, our children and their schools must come first. There are some great success stories in our schools. Wonderful, imaginative teachers and administrators who pour their hearts into their mission and inspire students to learn and succeed. I honor those educators. I want to lift them up, support them, and make them the standard for the Chicago public school system. But let us also recognize the magnitude of the challenge and the distance we must go before we can declare that the Chicago public schools are what they should be. Today, our school system only graduates half of our kids. And with one of the shortest school days in years in the country, we even shortchange those who earn a diploma. By high school graduation, a student in Houston has been in the classroom of the equivalent of 3 years longer than a student in Chicago, even when they both started kindergarten on the very same day. Our legislature in Springfield has taken a historic first step, and I personally want to thank Senate President Cullerton, Senate Leader Kimberly Langford, Speaker Madigan, House Leader Barbara Flynn Curry, and Representative Linda Chapa-Lavia, and all those in the Illinois General Assembly. Members from both parties took the courageous and critical vote. Finally, Chicago will have the tools we need to give our school children the schools they deserve. A longer school day and year on par with other major cities, and reform tenure to help us keep good teachers and pay them better. Each child has a chance, one chance at a good education. Every single one of them deserves the very best we can provide. And I'm encouraged that the governor will act soon to make these reforms a reality for our children. To lead our efforts in Chicago, we have a courageous new school CEO and a strong and highly qualified new school board with zero tolerance for the status quo and a proven track record to back it up. As some have noted, including Amy, I am not a patient man. And when it comes to improving our schools, I will not be a patient mayor. My responsibility is to provide our children with highly qualified and motivated teachers, and I will work day and night to meet that obligation. But let us be honest, for teachers to succeed, they must have partners as partners. To give our children the education they deserve, parents must get off the sidelines and involve in their child's education. The most important door for a child's education is the front door of that home. And nothing I do at the schools can ever replace that. Working together, though, we can create a seamless partnership from the classroom and to the family room to help our children learn and succeed. We will do our part. And parents, we need you to do yours. Second, we must make our streets safer. Chicago has always had the build of a big city with the heart of a small town. But that heart is being broken as our children continue to be victims of violence. Some in their homes, some on their porches, some on their way to and from school. During the campaign, I visited a memorial in Roseland, one that lists the names of children who've been killed by gun violence. This memorial is only a few years old. But with 220 names, it has already run out of space. There are 150 more names yet to be added. I want you to think about that. Think about what that means. Memorials are societies most powerful tribute to its highest values and ideals: courage, patriotism, sacrifice. What kind of society have we become when we find ourselves paying tribute not only to soldiers and police officers, but to children who are just playing on the block? What kind of society have we become when the memorials we build honor the loss of innocence and the loss of childhood? That memorial does more than mourn the dead. It shames the living. It should prod all of us, every adult, to step in, stand up, and speak out. We cannot look away, and we cannot become numb to it. Kids belong in our schools, on our playgrounds, in our parks, not frozen in time on the side of a grim memorial. Our new police chief understands this. As a beat officer who worked his way through the ranks, and as a leader of a department who dramatically reduced violent crime, he is the right man at the right time for the right job. But here too, like our schools, partnership is key. The police cannot do it alone. It's not enough to bemoan violence in our neighborhoods. Those who have knowledge and information that can help solve and prevent crimes have to come forward and help. Together we can make all our streets in every neighborhood safer. Third, we must put the city of Chicago's financial house in order, because we cannot do any of these things if we squander the resources they require. From the moment I began my campaign for mayor, I've been clear about the hard truths and the tough choices we face. We simply can't afford the size of city government that we had in the past, and taxpayers deserve a more effective and efficient government than the one we have today. Our city's financial situation is difficult and profound. We can't ignore these problems a day longer. It is not just a matter of doing more with less. We must look at every aspect of city government and ask some basic questions. Can we afford it? Is it worth it? Do we need it? Is there a better deal? Well, we are not the first city government to face these tough questions. It is my fervent hope that we become the first to solve them. The old ways no longer work. It is time for a new era of responsibility and reform. Now, I reject how the leaders in Wisconsin and Ohio are exploiting their financial crisis to achieve a political goal. That is not the right course for Chicago's future. However, doing everything the same way we always have is not the right course for Chicago's future either. We will do no favors for our city employees and our taxpayers if we let outdated rules and outmoded practices make important government services too costly to deliver. Now, I fully understand there will be those who oppose my efforts to reform our schools, to cut costs, and to make government more effective. Some are sure to say, this is the way we do things. We can't try something new. Those are the rules. We can't change them. That is a prescription for failure that Chicago will not accept.